Hey everybody, it's Adrienne, and I wanted to check in again today. It's been a couple days. I am exactly 1 week post-op today. 1 week would have been this morning, and then I've had the rest of the day. It's been a pretty good day, I have to say. I still wake up pretty stiff, but not like the first few days. It's way more manageable now. I haven't taken any pain medicine today yet, so I probably will take some ibuprofen to just kind of ward off. By this time of night, it's about 9:30 in the evening. I get pretty sore just from holding my head up all day and doing stuff, and I've become a little more active, nothing crazy, but just getting up and out of the house and errands. And so I probably will take some more ibuprofen just before I go to bed. But today was my husband's birthday, so I got out of the house early this morning. My mom took me, we drove to the grocery. I got him his cake and stuff, a few extra things we needed. I was home most of the day while he was at work, and then this evening we went out to dinner and did the whole cake and ice cream thing. So pretty busy day for me as far as how things have been going the last week or so. I kind of wanted to share with you a few of the little tips and tools that I found in the last week that have been sort of helpful, and some of them are like things you wouldn't maybe necessarily think of, but I have a little stash of things. So the first thing that you need is drinks with straws, because you aren't going to be able to tip your head back and drink like out of a regular cup. So to have a straw makes it a lot easier. You don't have to move your head as much to get your drink. So that is the first thing. I also had this comb, and it just makes getting your, like, it has a long handle, so you don't have to like reach up on the top of your head if you don't want to. And it's this wide tooth thing, so for anybody with long hair, it helps get the tangles like after your shower and everything. So something like this I would recommend, just because then you're not having to pull on your hair. It gets through your hair pretty easily, so that's not a lot of effort to have one of these. I've never been good at swallowing pills. I've never really swallowed pills ever. I always crush what I can. But they make, just so you know, they make liquid Tylenol, liquid acetaminophen. So that goes down a little easier, and you can control. I only took, like half a dose of this at a time, but you can get liquid acetaminophen. You can also get, if you have a nice doctor who will write the script, you can also get liquid Vicodin. Liquid hydrocodone and acetaminophen. I actually did not take this very much. You can see it's mostly still there. To be able to know that I had this available, I wasn't worried about not being able to have pain medicine because I was going to choke or something like that. So if you need it, they make it, just so you're aware. So the liquid Tylenol and liquid Vicodin. The other thing I would recommend, possibly, depending on your pain and how quickly you're going to get into the shower, would be something like these. Just some facial cleansing wipes, just to wipe off your face and get the oils off and stuff. You may be able to have the strength in your head to kind of lean over the sink and wash your face, but this was just easier, at least the first day after surgery, to do this, or just to have a warm washcloth and kind of wipe down that way, so you're not having to get your whole body in the shower. Also, there may be some excess like betadine and, just some, I couldn't tell whether it was betadine or some blood. My parents said I had some blood in my hair in the first 24 hours from, I don't know, from just dripping, or if I had probes, like I talked about, all these probe sites. And I still have this gross bruise on my hand, if you can see that. Anyway, so you may have other things you want to wipe off of you, the first couple days before you want to actually get in the whole full-fledged shower. So that would be something I would recommend, is something like this, just to wipe off and feel a little bit more human. The other thing that I found, CVS is our drugstore of choice just because it's right around the corner from us, but I found these ice packs, and they're really nice. They're super thin, and they have these little like jelly beads in there, so they're nice and squishy. They're not as hard or bulky as a full like bag of ice, and so they're really nice. I can just put it right back here and I can lay on it, and it actually has like a velvety side, so you don't have to, and this side is obviously colder because it's more like the plastic, but you can put whichever you want, and you can lay on it and it's not uncomfortable. And so I have been using these, like rotating. I have one in the freezer and one on almost all night long, or rotating until I get warm. And they last, I don't know, they stay really cold for probably half an hour, and then they get a little more room temperature, but they're still cool, so they still feel good. So that would be another thing that I would recommend. One of the other good things that I found at the drugstore, I actually didn't find these, I sent my husband, but were these shower bandage protectors. But you can just trim these down and they work fine. They're sticky all the way around, and what I do is put it here for the shower. So it has like a border that's sticky, but the center of it is not. Or you could just buy a piece of gauze and cover it, and then I stick the sticky all over my incision when I'm in the shower, and it totally keeps it dry the whole time. So these shower Band-Aid covers are nice. It's a little bulky and annoying, but it takes away the worry of like trying to avoid the water in the shower. So these were good. These were a good find. I had something like this when I came home from the hospital. So I'm glad they had something like this at the drugstore. So that is another good thing I recommend. And then, kind of obvious, but last but not least, as far as like the tips and tools, is to see if you will get, what kind of collar you will get. My surgeon actually said normally he doesn't send people home with a collar because he doesn't want people to, I guess, rely on it or get too stiff. But I think because of how much he had to do in my neck and just the protection of it, he wanted me to have this. I asked for one anyway, or I had my family ask, because it's just a nice comfort. Not to hold you still or restrict you, but when you're at the end of the day and your neck is tired, you can just kind of rest your chin and it feels so much better. Or in the car. The last couple of times I've been in the car, they were just supposed to be short trips, so I didn't take this with me, but you would be surprised how many bumps and curbs and potholes and starting and stopping, and this just helps kind of it doesn't take all the weight, or it helps your body not take all the weight, and kind of just be a little more supportive. So see if you can get a soft collar if possible, even if it's not standard. I just think it's a nice thing to have just for when you're fatigued, like at the end of the day or something like that. So those are kind of my standby items that I've been using pretty regularly that have just made things easier. The other thing that was recommended in a lot of the other videos I've watched are throat lozenges, cough drops, and I bought some, but I never used a single one because I didn't need it. So that might be something you want to think about, one of the like throat numbing Cervical kind of things. But I never used anything like that. So as far as my general recovery process and everything has been going pretty good. Just kind of trying to remind myself to take it easy and let other people do all the heavy lifting. And I've still been doing a few things. I've been, feeding the dogs. And like I said, I've been to the grocery, and we went out to eat a couple times, taking a couple showers, making my own meals. which isn't too complicated. It mostly involves the microwave, but I have to get my son up in the mornings. I'm here by myself now that my husband's been back to work, so he's 2.5, so he can follow instructions, but he's 2.5, so he doesn't always do that. So I have to kind of wait to just let him do it, and no fighting, no wrestling, no nothing. I just have to wait for him to come around, and I try to just explain to him that I can't do certain things, and he knows I have a Band-Aid, and so that kind of helps just explain it to him. But that's been okay. I just have pain in the back of my neck, and by the end of the day, my shoulders are sore, and my my neck up into my head is sore. I've had a few headaches. They're kind of that base of the skull type headache, like kind of a deep. I don't have headaches. I normally don't have headaches, but with all of this, I started getting headaches, and they used to go all the way like kind of up into my eye, and that hasn't happened, but I have felt a little bit of this deep headache pain. So I was hoping that would go away, but that has kind of crept in just here and there. But for the most part, I think I am doing pretty well. I kind of was hoping that these steri strips, they say they'll just let them fall off on their own, and it's been a week and they haven't really started to do that. I'm curious what it looks like underneath there. This is definitely swollen, and you know, it's sore to the touch, just sore, not super painful. I had a few moments where things kind of, I got like some sharp pains, and I think that's just from maybe doing a little too much overuse, maybe, or things just kind of scar tissuing down, or just kind of, I'm not sure. So, but anyway, just little twinges, nothing too alarming. I'm still just trying to keep, and I'm not really doing it right now because I'm leaning forward, but keep a neutral spine as best I can. And I still, this is kind of my current range. I'm not pushing anything until I just go to like kind of start to feel the pull. So I was told I could move. I wasn't supposed to have the collar necessarily. So I think a little bit of moving is okay. I'm not supposed to do anything major or strenuous or forceful or anything, or move quickly, but a little bit of movement I think is okay. So far so good. It's surprising. I know that so many people are so nervous. I was so nervous. Like, I mean, it's your neck. Like, there's so much going on here in the front that's just like vital. But amazingly, it was not, so far it's not been as bad. I'm really anxious to get back to the doctor and get those x-rays just to make sure that I haven't done anything I shouldn't have, and that everything is healing correctly. But I have a couple more weeks before that's going to be the case. So just trying to find comfortable positions as I sleep. Sometimes I do roll up a towel. Like if I end up sleeping on my side, I end up putting weight or twist, you know, your head kind of tilts. So I put a towel to kind of support my neck when I'm doing that. It's going, I think, hopefully as well as it could. Knock on wood. I don't want any changes. I don't want any new, you know, issues to arise, but I've been trying to do my walking, and if I'm not doing a formal, you know, walk outside, we've at least gone to the store and gotten out of the house. So hopefully this is encouraging that it can be this good at a week. Still gonna have some pain, but it's probably equal to what I had beforehand. So no worse. I haven't really had any numbness come back, but again, I haven't done a whole lot. So I'm afraid that perhaps when I start being a lot more active and using my arms, that numbness may come back, just because I'm using it more, and it's maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, that is it for now. I will update again as needed, and we'll kind of go from there. Thanks for watching, and I will check back in a little while. See ya.